These are the best home-style cinnamon rolls. They are fluffy, soft and absolutely delicious. Perfect for breakfast, brunch and holidays. These cinnamon rolls are packed with a cinnamon brown sugar filling and glazed with a vanilla cream cheese glaze that drips into the middle and soaks every single bite. Let us see a quick and easy method to prepare these delicious cinnamon rolls. To a mixing bowl, you may add in 3/4 cup of lukewarm milk. Make sure the milk is not too hot or too cold. Now we will add 1 teaspoon of powdered sugar. In this recipe, I highly recommend using instant yeast as instant yeast gets dissolved really quickly. So here I am adding 1 teaspoon of instant yeast. To this, you may add in 2 cups of all-purpose flour. To this, I am adding 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter, which is softened at room temperature. And now we will add in 3/4 teaspoon of salt. So now, using your clean hands, you may start mixing. You may start kneading the dough to form a smooth dough. In the beginning, you might feel the dough is a little too sticky to handle and you might feel tempted to add a little more flour at that stage. But please don't do that, because more flour you add to it, the bread is going to become more hard, which we don't want. But continue kneading for about 4 minutes or so. You will notice that it will be much easier for you to handle. But just in case, even after 4 to 5 minutes of kneading, the dough is still too sticky, if you feel, you may add a little more all-purpose flour. So totally you will need to knead for around 7 to 8 minutes to get those really soft rolls. So here I'm using roughly around 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of unsalted butter, which is softened at room temperature, just to grease the dough, because now we're going to cover this dough somewhere warm and leave it for around 1 to 1.5 hours or until it doubles in its size. So while it is rising, we don't want the dough to dry out, so because of that we are greasing the dough very well. As you can see, the dough has doubled in its size after about 1.5 hours, but just in case if you're living in a colder country, this rising time can increase by a little more time. Now let us prepare the cinnamon roll filling. For that, to a bowl I'm adding 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And I'm adding 2 teaspoons of cinnamon powder to get that beautiful aroma and the beautiful flavor of cinnamon. And mix it well so that if in case there are any lumps, it will all break down and combine very well with the cinnamon. And now let us punch it down very gently and knead it for few more seconds. So you can see that the consistency of the dough is super soft. So this is the right texture and the right consistency the dough should be. So now we're going to lightly flour the surface so that it will be easier for us to remove the dough after we roll it out and it will not get stuck to the surface. And we are going to make it an approximate rectangle shape. You have to roll it out in this thickness. It is not too thin or too thick. On top of this, you may add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, which is at room temperature, and you may gently spread it all over. And now we are going to sprinkle the entire cinnamon and brown sugar mix, and once it is all sprinkled, we are going to use our hands to gently press it down so that it will get stuck to the butter. Just like for a jelly roll, we need to roll it up from the longest side, but make sure you don't make very tight rolls, because if we make tight rolls, it will not have enough room for the dough to rise evenly. Here I have prepared the baking tray. It is well greased with some unsalted butter and lined with some parchment paper. So here I am using an unflavored dental floss to divide the dough into 12 equal portions. So I'm using a dental floss here so that we get cleaner cuts But if in case you don't have it, you can also use a thread, or if you don't have a thread also, you can still use a sharp knife. Now let us arrange each piece in the prepared baking tray. Make sure there is a little bit gap in between each roll so that there will be enough space for it to rise. And now we need to leave it covered again at a warm spot for another 40 to 45 minutes or until it doubles in size. After about 40 minutes, you will notice that the rolls have nicely risen. Now we need to bake this in the middle rack of a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius for about 20 to 25 minutes. While the cinnamon rolls are getting baked, we need to prepare the delicious cream cheese frosting, which is so easy. So what we need to do is, to a small bowl, I'm adding half cup of cream cheese. To this, we have to add quarter cup of unsalted butter, which is softened at room temperature. In goes half teaspoon vanilla essence. We need to mix them together, and you will notice that it will get combined very quickly. And now we need to add in 1 cup of icing sugar. And now we need to mix them well to form a smooth paste. So as you can see, it is already quite thick. At the same time, it is in a flowing consistency. But I'm going to add in about 1 tablespoon of whipping cream. Now this is totally optional. If you want, you add it, but I personally like it to be a little more flowy and a little more richer in taste. Let us combine this very well, and now the delicious cream cheese frosting is ready. The delicious cinnamon rolls is ready and it is out of the oven. You can see that there is a slight golden color in the outside. As soon as the rolls are out of the oven, while it is still hot, you may pour over the prepared cream cheese frosting. It is best to wait for a couple of minutes so that the cream cheese frosting settles in it really well, and that way the rolls are going to taste much better. I can assure you that if you are able to try this recipe at least one time, you will never want to go for any other recipes, because this recipe is amazingly delicious and the most perfect cinnamon roll recipe you will ever find. So please do try this recipe at home. As you can see, the rolls are so soft and fluffy. Once you try this recipe at home, please don't forget to share your valuable feedback through the comment section below the recipe video. And if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, and if you're liking my recipe videos, please don't forget to hit the red color subscribe button as well. And also please don't forget to like and share the video. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon in another lovely recipe video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.